Are you still
Good
there?
evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes? Excellent.
Yes.
I'm no longer muted. Thank you so much, Irina, and thank you all for the opportunity of joining you. As Jeremy said, I'm going to try very hard to be brief. For those of you who know me and have been with me, you'll know that if I'm given a 40-minute slot, I'll often take an hour and 10 minutes. So we will endeavour to stick to the 10 minutes that I've been given. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate the AIT and its board for everything it has achieved in what have been tough and troubling times. It's been a hard year. It's been a great year for the AIT, getting launched, building up the body, creating contacts, stimulating so much CPD. It's been wonderful to watch, but it's been in very troubled waters. So I would really like to congratulate the AIT board for having achieved as much as it has, and to assure the AIT that the National Register will always be available and ready to work alongside the AIT on any of the programs that the AIT wishes to drive forward. We've been delighted to welcome the AIT within the NRPSI wing, underneath the NRPSI wing, with the NRPSI wing as one of our associate organisations. And indeed, as of this week, the AIT are now mentioned on the renewal form for every individual registrant when they come to renew each year. So well done, Irina, for driving us to ensure that we made that happen, and it's now public this particular week. So the National Register, why are we here talking with you today? Well, to reaffirm the absolute commitment of the National Register to the key issues that underpin professionalism in public service interpreting. Now, this is not easy when we hear from the government public statement that they tell us there is no appetite among many public sectors for statutory recognition of registered public service interpreters. The government is on record as saying that. For us at the National Register, this just means that we have something very definite against which we wish to work, because as we all know, such a cavalier approach to professionalism has led to standards in certain parts of the public sector dissolving like sugar in hot tea. And I say that passionately, and I mean it passionately. When the NHS tells us in a document from NHS England that any interpreter involved in a consultation room within the NHS should be engaged from the National Register of Public Service Interpreters, we all know that that does not happen. And yet it is the advice. The should be engaged from the National Register. We know of bilinguals, bilingual speakers with no qualifications, with no experience, going into a doctor's consulting room. No wonder there are misdiagnoses. We also know within the court system that an individual who actually enrolls on a level 1 public service interpreting course can actually act as an interpreter in a bail hearing. Now that's a GCSE pass. It's not even an ABC. It's a pass. And they don't even have to have achieved it. They just have to show that they've enrolled on the course. So no wonder standards are slipping, are dissolving like sugar in tea in the court system. And as many of you will know, the National Register is advocating very hard right now that each one of us sends through questions for our MPs to ask the Ministry of Justice, is this the case? Is it true that you will accept somebody who is enrolled on a level 1 course in public service interpreting as an interpreter in a bail hearing? Because if that's the case, then you have absolutely dissolved professionalism as far as language service provision in the court system. The courts will also accept somebody with a bachelor degree in philology, but with no public service interpreting qualification or experience. So we're bound to see issues when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to delivery, We are going to have misdiagnoses. We are going to have miscarriages of justice when professionalism is not protected. And let me assure you all that the National Register holds a line that when it comes to qualifications, a public service interpreter working in complex situations needs to have a level 6 public service interpreting qualification. They need to have a minimum of 400 hours of experience before they can join the National Register on full status for a language where there's a DPSI. They need to sign up to the Professional Code of Conduct. Now, this code currently is the only code that is published for public service interpreters. There are lots of other codes, but they're codes that are not specific to public service interpreting. And just as importantly, for the satisfaction and the comfort of those who actually appreciate professionalism, there is a transparent, very public, disciplinary process that is staffed by people who are not on the NRPSI secretariat, but by judges, by barristers, by those who are specialists in standards. Well, the National Register is absolutely driven to those 4 platforms on which professionalism can be built. And there are exemplars within our ecosystem in the United Kingdom, organisations such as the Metropolitan Police Service that will only engage with those who have been independently registered, that have got the level 6 qualification, that have got the 400 hours plus, that sign up to the Professional Code of Conduct and also partake of that open, transparent disciplinary process. So that's where the National Register is absolutely focused on protecting the standards, maintaining those standards and developing those standards, and forcefully approaching those organisations that do not accept these standards to lobby hard to ensure we have professionalism within our ecosystem. The National Register, alongside the AIT, will continue to share the commitment to gain statutory recognition for public service interpreters, to gain protection of title for public service interpreters, and make it mandatory, insist on only those who are registered and regulated, that they're the only ones who are capable and approved to give voice to the voiceless. The National Register will also continue to develop new elements that can add to the strength of our drive for professionalism, including the proposed launch of the National Register of Public Service Translators, to develop the processes so that we can work much closer with the police from Warwickshire as far as vetting is concerned as a host, and many other projects that we have in mind. But for you here today, I just want to say congratulations. Well done, the AIT. Congratulations to all of you who are members of the AIT. It's proven itself to be incredibly active through this last year. And we at the National Register are delighted to embrace all that activity from the AIT, and we'll always be there to work alongside the AIT in the future in this drive for professionalism, for protection of title, for statutory recognition, and to ensure that it's mandatory for public sector organisations to only engage with those who are proven, experienced and qualified, signed up to the Code of Professional Conduct, and who also are partaking of an independent disciplinary process. So I wish you all a very good evening. I'm actually on a holiday today. Were it not tough times, I'd probably be overseas on a beach somewhere. But as it is, I'm still here in London, so I will be leaving you early. But I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you all for your attention. And please, please support the work of the National Register as well as that of the AIT. Thank you all very much indeed.